heart of gold, but ready to fight. Standing tall, doing what's right. Shining truth like a firelight. Daddy's wisdom running deep taught me promises I gotta keep. Breaking chains, leaving pain behind. Calling out the crooked kind. Oh, the truth cuts through the lies. No more secrets in disguise. Second chances, they wear thin. Spawn trooper rides again. Ain't no fear when I'm around. Justice stands on solid ground. One last chance to make it right, or face the reckoning tonight. In the dark where shadows creep, truth rings out, it cuts so deep. Ain't no price to make me sell. Standing strong, I know too well. Oh, the truth cuts through the lies. No more secrets in disguise. Second chances, they wear thin. Spawn trooper rides again. In the dark, where shadows creep, truth rings out, it cuts so deep. Ain't no price to make me sell. Standing strong, I know too well. Oh, the truth cuts through the lies. No more secrets in disguise. Second chances, they wear thin. Spawn trooper rides again.
Warning: the following video contains strong language, which may be offensive to some viewers and or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only. Thank you for your attention. It would be a good idea to unmute myself. Greetings, Zohan. Welcome. Right, first of all, before someone who's at the moment late, okay, what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to hit the participation. So, the participants. So, first of all, let's say hello to everyone. Emma Girls, hello, my darling. Blue, hi, how you doing? Eric, good to see you, brother. Faith says it all great. Good to see you. Gail, good to see you, my darling. Johnny, hi, buddy. Kim, hi, darling. Philip, hi, bud. Hop along, SMN, how you doing? Squid, hey. Star, hi you. Teresa, hi. Texas Ain, Zohan, and Sweetfly, hi. Welcome to tonight's stream. And right now, I'm waiting for the host of the stream to appear. Let me just go and ping her because obviously, someone is late. But anyway, but while we wait for Mypretty to turn up, Who did I miss? Let's see if is there anyone I missed? Who did I miss? Is there anyone I missed? Anyone who's decided to go and sit outside? And Kim, I've mentioned you. Have I mentioned you? Yes, I have mentioned you. Heidi had to go away because 3D world is yeah, everyone, yeah. So Heidi, hi, and oh, look who's decided to turn up, ladies and gentlemen, your host for tonight's stream. Well, it's about time you got your ass here.
Hang on, I'm trying to turn my volume up. You're real low for me, so hang on just a minute.
Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can fix this.
Yeah, you're real low.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't usually happen. Oh, there you go. Bang. So how's that? Is that better?
It's much better. I couldn't hear you at first. That was the problem. I was like, I'm not hearing him. I'm not hearing him.
Oh, wait a minute. Right, this is what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Right, by the way, if I've missed you and I haven't mentioned you, right, just let me know and I'll. Kirby, hi, welcome. Hi, welcome. As long as you feel comfortable on the balcony of the smoking area, you're more than welcome. Gail, hi. And ladies and gentlemen, your host for tonight is obviously Karen Razoni. Hi, how you doing? Janet, how you doing? Look, I'm just going to wait until you all get in here, and then we'll go from there. How are you feeling tonight, my pretty wife, by the way?
I'm doing better. Still a little tired. Still overcoming it. I tell you, having a stomach bug is not fun at all.
No, it's not.
And I blame the hubby. It's all his fault.
Absolutely. Well, we've got some new people to come in. Robert Ward, Texas Alien. Hi, my darling Gail. And Mishi Lady. Hello, you jock git. How's your kilt? Right. Okay. So what's going to happen? I'm going to be muted most of the time unless you want me to do something, and then I'll come in and then I'll join in. But yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, just a very quick introduction for the new people. Okay. So first of all, I just want to make absolutely sure so everyone's on the same page. I identify as a problem.
Amen to that.
Just saying.
Preach it.
All right. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to say it as it is. Okay. So if you are offended or you don't like, so I try not to curse, but if it happens, it happens. Okay. But everyone should know me by now. And if you're new here, just settle in, get to know people, and Squid, don't you dare, because I've already got that covered. See, got it covered. Anyway, right. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, obviously it is et moi, Spawn Trooper. I am the platform host. However, tonight, Mypretty is going to be taken over as host. So, and I want to introduce you to Mypretty. And please, when you do get a chance or if you have a moment, I want you to go and show your support and your love for Mypretty and go and hit that subscription button and give her a like, and just hit that notification. So when we get Mypretty to that level, then obviously, and by the way, that is a knife. That is not a knife, just so you know. Right. So before we go into the local news, we'll go back to me to here. There you go. There you go. Right. So how have you been? So besides being ill, how else have you been?
Man, it's been a very busy week. We are in the process of moving, hopefully, and so I have to go through all of this stuff. You know how you live in a place for so many years, you accumulate just junk, stuff that you've had away in a box somewhere forever with the intent, oh, I'm going to use that one day. I like that. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to use that. And you never use it. So I'm going through all kinds of stuff. Hang on one second, Spawn. Give me just 1 minute. I'm sorry. Give me just a second.
Yep. I think someone's getting beaten up right now. Oh, yes. It's like, turn it down.
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. When the daughter calls, everything stops. You know how that goes.
Yeah, absolutely,
I don't
absolutely.
care how
But
old they
anyway,
get.
what I'm going to do right now, okay? Obviously, I'm going to do the this stuff. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it. We'll leave it on there, right? And then we'll go from there, okay?
Okay, okay.
But we can have a chit chat. But you now take lead. There you go.
All right. Well, I don't know if everybody is in the Facebook groups, but I am because I'm nosy. I admit it, and so I have to go in and check out everything that's being said. And I'm just wondering if anyone has seen the gentleman that has put up about he has bought billboards in Florida in the
Oh,
villages area,
oh,
and he has put up one billboard so far, and he has put out a post that if anyone sees it and sends to him a picture of it up, he'll give them $250. It seems someone has seen it. Yes, they have. They have seen it. They can see it from their house. And so I am awaiting that picture to come up. Some people are going to be spinning their heads around and spitting green pea soup.
oh, I could just imagine the freaking impersonation of The Exorcist
Oh my
without the
God.
vomit.
Yes, I can see it happening right now. And I know
Yeah.
that it's happening. And I have laughed my hind end off this morning.
That's
It's
funny. But the
hilarious.
thing is, he's going to be bankrupt by the end because I mean, like, you know, people are now going to deliberately drive down there and take pictures.
Oh, absolutely. 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 Well, he said the first person that contacts him.
Oh
So
wow, okay, then it's just one
somebody,
person. So,
yeah, somebody has already seen it. They can see it from their house,
uh-huh.
and they have sent it to him, and he's asked them to, be able to post what they've seen so that he can address this. And my understanding from him is that there are more than one billboard, and hopefully by Thursday, the rest of them will be up. And I do believe this billboard's going to come with pictures.
God. Oh, and if it's just, if it, I mean, like, I mean, I haven't followed it really. I haven't really got back in there because I've been doing other stuff. But I've got a funny feeling that And by the way, I've put you on top. Oh God, that sounded so
Yeah,
wrong.
I like that position.
Shit.
You walked into that one. You walked into
Oh
that.
yes, I did. I walked with arms and legs wide open. I just flew into that like a fucking mosquito going to. Oh look, bright light. Anyway, carry on.
And yes, good. I always say if you can't say something nice about somebody, come sit by me. I want to know all the dirt. But this has tickled. This has been so funny. I tell you what, people don't realize that it's not so much the situation. It's the way people handle things that's upsetting everybody so much. It's the way that when you tell a lie, when you get on there and you start telling lies about people and you start doing the things that's being done to Jeremy. People are going
Yeah,
to fight back. They're going to stand up and they're going to say, you know what, enough of this stuff. And that's what's happening. People are saying enough of this stuff. They've just had enough. And this gentleman has tickled me to death. I tell you, he is something else. And
mm.
I am just tickled to death that this is happening. I
I
can't
mean,
wait for the picture to come out.
First, I just want to say hello to everyone. Hi, Nimrod. Good to see you, and everyone else, DK Lucas, and everyone. What I find quite strange over this whole debacle about this whole court case and everything else. At first, it was about the court case, about the allegations, and about people taking law, suing and everything else. And then when a certain group of people then decided to inject themselves into this, it suddenly went away from a court case between two parties, regardless of how many people are in each party,
Right.
And it went from two parties to, oh, let's all get involved in this when they have no involvement now. And look where it is now. It's basically gone away from the actual court case, and it just bamboozles me that people will, it's like everyone is trying to get something from it, but what are you going to get from it? This is not about you. This is not about whoever, yes, you want to talk about it, fine. You want to give your opinion and make sure that your opinion is, somewhat unbiased. And if you make your opinion and from observations, which everyone can do, fine. But don't become emotionally involved, because that then, if like something happens, what's going to happen then? It's going to have a chain reaction with people where if you get emotionally involved, and that's what's happened.
Yeah, it's one thing to tell a story, it's another thing to become the story.
Exactly.
There's a huge difference in that. There's a
Yeah.
huge difference in just sitting around and as friends talking just talking about things and sharing your opinion. And then there's another thing whenever you become the focus of the story. And that's what's happening with these people. They're becoming the focus of the story.
Yeah.
Because when these new people, I'll use Lips for example. When Lips came onto the scene, instead of coming on the scene as an objective retired attorney and sharing both sides of the coin and
Hmm.
maybe giving her opinion as, if I was the attorney on Jeremy's side, this is what I would be doing. And then if I was the attorney on Lynette's side, this is what I would be doing. And giving an objective, unobstructive opinion. That's not what happened. She came on with both barrels blaring and jumped right in 2 feet head first. I mean, just went right into it. And then she became the object of the story instead of reporting on an
You see,
objective story.
yeah, you see, here's the thing. I don't even know why. Yeah. Anyway, here's the thing that I still can't get around my head. Now, I hardly mentioned it because she's irrelevant. But what I couldn't understand, and I think I did mention this, is that she appears from nowhere, gets smack bang into the middle of it, and then suddenly plays the victim when you retaliate or when you say something back. And that's happened across the board since all this started with a lot of people. And
Yeah.
it one and like either I'm freaking my brain is like not catching up, or I'm not seeing something, but what I should be seeing. But if she's, and this is with with Luthman, Mr. Magoo as well. These people are trained lawyers. Well, I mean, they were lawyers. They
Right.
should know better to go jump on a bandwagon with Deuce Boy and the crampons, right, and then do what they've done, and then thinking that they can make themselves famous, because that's the problem. It's all about how quick can I make lots of money, how quick can I be famous, how quick can I do this. And if you watch these people, that's exactly what they were doing. And then suddenly she fucking comes out of the fucking woodworks, and it's like, oh Christ, you know.
You're exactly right. That is what's happened. There's a difference between being famous and being infamous.
Yeah,
Those words sound a lot alike, but they have huge differences in definition.
I mean,
And
you got a
this is what
sorry,
they've
go on.
I was gonna say, and that's what they've done. They've made themselves infamous.
Yeah,
Um, you can't you can have an objective opinion. An objective opinion means you try to see something from both sides of the issue.
yeah.
And that's, and you and I both talk about that a lot. Do I think, in fact, I had Marla ask me this week, did I think that Lynette was really an evil genius? And my response was, genius? No. Evil? Well, yeah. Yeah, I think she got a little evil up in there. Um, because when people get questioned about what they're doing, when people get questioned about the things that's going on,
Uh,
some people immediately revert to attacking the other person instead of just saying, "Hey, look, this is just my opinion. Take it or
Mhm.
leave it. It doesn't matter." Because
I mean,
God knows God knows she's been vocal. Lynette's been very, very vocal this week. I mean, she has been on a roll, Jack. I mean, on a roll.
yeah.
She is pulling out all the stops. She's calling everybody that comments on her post that she puts up, and she's calling them all evil people, and we're all going to hell, and and we're all, just
Oh,
demonic in spirit.
hang on, hang on. Let me stop you there. Lynette, Lynette, put names here. Preston. Um, I got some really bad news for you, and I think it's only fair that I announce this. This is a PSA. This is a public service announcement. I've today received paperwork that there is a permanent injunction against me from Satan. Um, I was going to invest in a condo in hell. However, I've received the PSL, the permanent restraining order from Satan, and yeah, it looks like I won't be going to hell. I think I'll be somewhere in the middle. But anyway, carry on as you were.
Yeah, he ain't let me down there either. He's afraid I'll take over.
No, no, no. You carry on. I mean, I'm just talking because, like, the thing is, I just, I'm just interested in what you're saying because the thing is, I don't think, I don't think Lynette is evil. I just think she doesn't comprehend common sense with reality.
Yeah, that's what I was getting. That's the point I was going to make. That if you read her posts that she's making on YouTube, and she's not making videos, she's just making posts. She's using YouTube platforms sort of like we use Facebook,
Yeah,
where she's making these posts, and then people get to comment, and then she comments back to them, and it's just like as if she was in a Facebook group. Is no different, but
yeah,
the only difference is she's making it to a hundreds of thousands of people that potentially can see it instead
yeah,
of just in a private Facebook group that you just have the people that are in there. And so these posts have been something else. She is attacking her two of her ex-husband's wife, that things that happened in the past or things that happened back then. She's attacking this woman like crazy, throwing her mugshot up there, but yet she's not telling the story. She's not telling the backstory. And I'm not going to tell her story. That's going to be up to her. But
yeah,
I see this deflection that's happening because Lynette's not getting the praise. She's not getting the pat on the back. Now, the same fella that did the billboards, he has offered to Lynette that he will pay for her an attorney, a female attorney, because Lynette doesn't like men, so he's willing to get a female attorney for her if she's willing to go after
Whoa, whoa,
Lisa.
whoa, whoa. Hang on a minute. Whoa,
Uh-huh.
whoa, 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 whoa. Even though you're the host tonight, I have to object.
Why?
If she hates men, how the frick can she be married 7 times? Just saying. Just throwing it in there. I'm going to
I
mute myself.
never said she hated the.
Say again. Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh. Are you looking at screen again? Uh oh. I've got a funny feeling that we've lost Mypretty. Yes, we have. Yeah, she'll be right back. There she is.
I'm here. I'm here. We lost connection somehow. Don't know how.
Yeah,
I said I
you,
never. I
you
never
were
said.
looking at the screen.
Yeah, I never said she didn't like the chicka chicka bow wow. I just said she just
Chicka
didn't like
chicka
men.
bow wow. Yeah, but the thing is, like, guys, like, just for the record, we're not going to be talking about people's mental health or physical disabilities or mental disabilities here. Okay, it'll be unfair, unjust if she's not here to defend herself. Or so let's not. I get it. You know, there's a lot of that going around lately, but let's try to keep this on a positive track, if I may ask. Thank you. Have a good day. I'm going to mute myself. Carry on as you were.
So this guy, like I said, he has actually offered to pay for an attorney if Lynette will sue Lisa for the money that was collected in her name and her daughter's name, because that money was given for Lynette's benefit. It is not being used for her benefit, according to sources. And that means all of us that's watching these videos. And he actually had the attorney speak with Lynette and explain to her exactly what kind of mess that she's in. And God love her, hopefully this attorney was able to get through. I doubt it very seriously, because Lynette, like you said, doesn't comprehend what's being said to her. She doesn't understand it. She's
That,
she's
yeah, I mean
taking
that's
what.
just an observational comment. I don't think that she comprehends the seriousness of the situation that's going on around her. I think that, like, what I've noticed, that she listens when the crampons and all these other people, Deuce and everyone else were blabbing at her. She was just going by what they say. So basically, she comes across to be a person that if you've got someone who's stronger or more assertive than her, she'll go, "Oh right, okay," and then she'll just play along. Because look
Yeah,
at the video, if you can remember back when sorry, I'm just finding the file right now in my head. Yep, there you go, got it. Right, it's when the Trespass 6 happened, when they went to get the RV for Lloyd, and basically she was on the phone. If you actually look at the footage properly and closer, you'll notice that she's got an earpiece in her ear. She's got a phone on in her hand on loudspeaker, but she's got another phone in her back pocket, and
and
she's
that's
talking to.
because, yeah, she's talking to somebody on the phone. And if you listen closely, you hear those people telling her, "Shut up, just shut
Yeah,
up."
yeah. So basically, there's always been someone who's been influencer enabling her conduct. There's always and that's been going on from day one. But carry on. I'm going to mute myself again.
Yes, there's always someone pulling the strings whenever it comes to her. But unfortunately, she hitches her horse to the wrong carriage, and she listens to the wrong people. She needs to go get her an attorney that she herself picks out, not anybody else, but that she herself meets with, that she picks out, somebody that she trusts. And she really, really, really needs to go read her own court documents, because one of the posts that she put up last week was, and Tug and Megan touched on it also, was that the judge denied discovery, and the judge never asked for discovery. And that's just not true.
Yeah.
And the judge ordered it separately twice. But she doesn't know this, because I don't believe the woman has accessed her records at all and read anything. I don't believe she's read it.
Yeah, I mean, his like, and I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Pardon the pun. Um, but I think what this gentleman's doing is too little, too late. You know, I personally think that anything like this should have happened way before Bruce Matskin. The
Yeah,
moment Bruce Matskin touched this, it went to shit,
yeah,
and that's it. Yes, okay, right. You have to give the crampons a little bit of credit, and the only reason I'm doing that is because I'm being devil's advocate right now. Later on, I'm going to be an arsehole. Um, the fact that they actually got that fence up, but again, I've proven that the fence was already paid for in October last year. By and by, the fact that they actually got that done, the fact that money was spent or sent there for the barnuminium. I've seen the picture with the lumber, so money is being spent. But I say there's only 1% of that money that was handed over and donated and everything else for them to. Where is it all gone? We're never going to see that. We're never going to see transparency unless you involve the feds and IRS, and they go in there and they richly rip that place apart and they look for it.
right. I mean, you think back, Lynette's looking at, well, yeah, we got Christmas and we got the fence, but according to Lynette, she didn't ask for any of that. She appreciated it, but she didn't ask for it. The only thing that we have physically seen that has been bought for the barnuminium is one small And I do mean small. And my husband owned a construction company for many years, so I know it's small because I've had to order this stuff before. One small pallet of wood and a toilet. And I do believe they bought her an island to go in the kitchen. Well, whenever there is a kitchen. But that's all that we've seen that's been purchased. So we know that's not enough for the barnuminium. So she's going by what people are telling her. Lynette also stated that basically it's Lisa's fault that the permit didn't get reinstated, that Lisa knew about it. So what I see in a pattern that I'm seeing, and you guys correct me if you see something different than what I see. What I see is Lynette has these problems. Somebody comes in to help her, and she just turns it all over to them and thinks they're going to handle everything, and she don't have to do nothing. She just has to sit back and reap the benefits. Well, let me tell you something, folks. You can go out there and plant 100 seeds, but if you don't get out in that garden and weed it, if you don't get out in that garden and fertilize it, if you don't get out in that garden and water it, you're not going to grow a crop. I don't care how many seeds somebody gives you to plant. If you don't take care of the garden, you're not going to reap the crop. And that's what she's doing. She's not tending her own garden. She's relying on other people to tend her garden. And life just doesn't work that way. And it hasn't worked out for her in the 60, I think she's almost 64 years she's been on this earth. It doesn't work that way. I can tell you that if I was in a court case, you better believe I'd have every court paper that came out about me. I'd have that thing highlighted. I would read it over and over and over again. I would know it backward and forward, because an attorney is looking for a resolution. That's their main objective, is to find a resolution to the problem. It may not be the resolution you want, but they're looking for a resolution. You see it all the time in court cases when people are charged with something and the two attorneys get together and they talk about it, and this charge may be dropped, or you may plead to a different charge because the attorney is going to get paid one way or another. You know, the end result is that they got a win, or they got a not a bad win. They just want to win. It doesn't matter whether it's for you or against you. They just want that win. And that brings up what my main objective was today on one of Lisa's lives. She was really, dogging, and I do mean dogging Shara about being a journalist. Well, let's think. What is a journalist? We hear that word thrown around quite a bit in our lives. You know, this person's a journalist, that person's a journalist. What constitutes being a journalist? And so I did a little research, and I decided to ask just that question. What is a journalist? And so I sent Spawn, if you can pull it up, I'll show him what I found concerning our wonderful First Amendment that we have here in this country. And a journalist is someone who gathers, analyzes, and disseminates information to the public. Typically, it's in the form of news reports. It involves researching, writing, presenting information through various media formats, and they play a very crucial role in informing the public. What Shara is doing is just that. Shara is gathering information. She is putting that information into a format, and she's sharing it with everyone. Our wonderful First Amendment that we have in this country allows each and every one of us American citizens to be journalists. We are all journalists. We are all sharing things in our day-to-day lives. Some of us share it in Facebook groups. Some of us, like Spawn and Squid and Moosey, They share it on their YouTube channels. Sometimes people just stand outside of a public government building and hold a sign like Jeff Gray does that says, God bless the homeless. That's still journalism. Now, people go to school for journalism to learn how to write things, how to make things more presentable, how to do things more ethically. But in all, we are all journalists. So for Lisa to say that Shar is not a journalist, but yet sits there and says that she is, that Lisa is a journalist, is a total joke. This is something that was given to us as a wonderful gift by our forefathers that saw that this was coming. They saw that we would maybe at one point in life be hindered from sharing our opinions, from sharing things that we find, from sharing information with each other. And this is what stops that from happening. Shar is 100% a journalist. She is a published journalist, and she is as much a journalist as people like Bumpy, Luthman, Spawn, Squid, Moosey, myself, anybody else. We all fall under this criteria. It's something that is afforded to each and every one of us. And so many times I've noticed, especially in the Facebook groups, because people talk a lot more than they do, like, on the YouTube channels, so you kind of get to know people, that people don't even know what our rights are as American citizens. Will you put up the other one? I'm going to read this just a little bit for you. Being a journalist is a right for all, not a job for all. The Supreme Court has long interpreted the freedom of the press as a fundamental personal right that is not exclusive to professional journalists. Let's say that again. It's not exclusive to professional journalists. Any person who publishes information or opinions is a member of the press in the broadest constitutional sense. That's each and every one of us. Every one of us is members of the press. And we as American citizens, and I know that over there Spawn has something similar to it in their charter, but if we don't continue to exercise this like Shara is doing, we're going to lose it. Rights are like muscles. If you don't use them, you lose them. And this is something that is extremely important to me. I follow a lot of First Amendment auditors. I follow a lot of constitutional lawyers that are civil rights attorneys. And this is so important because in this day and age and things that are happening today, folks, they're trying to take away as much as they can. They're trying to limit how much control we, the people, have. And people like Lisa that sit there and degrade others for exercising their rights are part of the problem. It's rights for you, but not for me. Now, journalism is a profession that you can undertake, and you go to school and you learn more. It's just like being a soldier. When you go into the military, you go in, as a private. You're the lowest man on the totem pole. But you can educate yourself, you can learn more, and you can move up the ranks and become better at being a soldier. You can change things. You can better yourself. You can educate yourself more. It's the same way with journalism. Now, is Shara a journalist for CNN News? No, she's not. But she is a citizen journalist, and she should be afforded the same respect as any other person in that position.
Just to say, just to interject two things. At the beginning, I was on the fence with Shara until I started noticing the treatment and everything else that was coming from Bruce Matskin and everything. And that's when I started realizing that she was richly being taken for a ride. And that's why my attitude changed. And, you know, she's really good at what she does. And I've learned quite a bit from her. And in fact, Shara's taught me as a normal person. Yes, in the military, you go up in the rank, and the higher you go, the more responsibility you have. And at some point, you are going to be a leader, and people are going to look up to you for advice, input, and support. And I always have this one rule: always lead by example, because it's not do as I say, but don't do as I do. None of that crap. And with journalism, we're all like you said, we're all journalists. If you research, investigate, and check things, and you bring it together and you show the evidence, that's exactly what someone in the Mirror or someone in the Guardian or someone in the New York Post or So, but yeah. Anyway, I'll shut up.
But you're exactly right, though. That is a fact. That is what we are. We are all journalists, and we need to start exercising that right more. We need to not just sit back and eat the stuff that's dished us up to us politely with a knife and a fork, and not have an opinion on it and not share our opinions. The First Amendment, it adds protection for publishing, not just for these newspapers or these news channels, but also for us as individuals. Every newspaper that ever started from one guy that said, I want the people to know what's happening. I want the folks to know. Ben Franklin was just an everyday citizen whenever he started a newspaper to let people know what was going on in his government. And it's not always what's just going on in your government. If you don't know what's going on in the world, then you can't understand what's happening in your government. And sometimes just hearing it from an everyday person is what's needed more than these big, huge publications. I also heard on that same live stream, I want to address this too. And I've heard it said about Megan and Tug numerous times, and Jeremy, that they're making money off of it. Oh, they're making money. They're making money. They're doing it for content. They're doing it for views. They're doing it for money. Well, yeah. So is the New York Post. So is the Daily Mail. So is CNN. So is MSNBC. They're all doing it for money, because without money, they can't put it out on the internet. They have to have the money to be able to disseminate it. To be
Can
able
I
to
just? Oh, can I just interject? I want to bring right. Let me educate a couple of people. I'm going to read this out to you. Newspapers developed from the 16th century Italian and German newsletters into multi-page printed publications in the 17th century Europe. Driven by printed press, increased literacy, and also growing demand for regular news. Key innovations included faster printing presses in the 18th century, allowing the mass distribution. Now, handwritten news sheets, okay, first printed newspapers, growth in Europe. Basically, it was in the 16th century. That's when handwritten news sheets became common in Venice, for example. And they would, like, if you watch in the old films where they put up these pictures and they stick them on the wall, that there was basically your newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously it progressed from there. And the first reported newspaper ever to be printed was in 1605 by the Germans. So just to give you an idea how far this goes back, okay? So it's not like, how can I put it? It happened that before, AD or BC. But here's another thing for you Christian people who go to church every Sunday and everything else, like the Ten Commandments. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that there was also a newspaper. Okay.
Exactly right.
Right. So the first ever written news report or newsletter were the Ten Commandments. But anyway, I do apologize for interjecting. You carry on, my lady.
You're fine. But these are things that we don't stop to think about. I dare say that even in chat, one half of us, without looking it up now, no cheating, without looking it up, could name the 5 elements of our First Amendment. I dare say that even half of us could do that. And that's something that we need to change in this country. We need to know what is our rights, what we have a right to do, what we have a right to say. And we need to exercise those rights, and we need to share. You know, sometimes when I'm watching a real news channel, and I say a real news channel, I'm talking like CNN or MSNBC, something like that. When I'm watching a news channel, they'll give me a story, and then I'll go watch my little local news channel that's in my little town, and they may give me the same girth of the story, but I understand it so much better from my local news channel because it's just an average everyday Joe up there talking to somebody. So that's why it's there. It's there to not silence us. Shara is doing just that. She is sharing what she has found. She is disseminating it to everybody. She's not calling Lynette anything. She's not putting Lynette down about anything. What she's doing is bringing forward the information that she has acquired, that she has done the research on, and she is saying, this is what I found. Now you make up your own mind. And for anybody to say that her or Megan or Tug are not journalists, and yet they proclaim themselves to me is the biggest hypocritical thing that can ever be said. We're all journalists, and we need to respect everybody that's out there doing it. Because let's face facts. I do a lot of research. Spawn does a lot of research. Squid does a lot of research. We do that because you probably don't have the time to do it. You don't have the time to go out there and do all the research. I do. So I go research it and I bring the information forward for you to look at it. Now, what you make out of that information, well, that's your business. You're going to make your opinion based on the experiences that you've had in your life, your education, the way you were brought up. All these things play into why you come up with the opinion that you have. All I do is give you the information for you to do it. It's just like I might fry my chicken in lard. Spawn may fry his chicken in
Easy,
vegetable oil.
Tiger. Easy, Tiger. I don't fry my chickens. I eat them raw.
Well, Squid might fry her chicken in peanut oil. I know Squid is probably bad for you. I get it. You don't even have to say it. But at the end of the day, when we sit down at our table, we all eat fried chicken. So it just depends on how we come about our opinion. It doesn't make your opinion, your fried chicken, any better than my fried chicken. It just means we did it differently, but we came out with the same results. So I just want to bring attention to the fact that when people are commenting and saying these things about folks that are bringing information to your attention and calling and saying that they are not journalists, that is in fact a lie. We are all journalists, and we should all be proud of that. Now, Spawn, I know over there y'all have, what is it called, the Magna Carta? Am I right?
The Magna Carta.
Magna Carta. And y'all also have something very similar to what we have here as our First Amendment. You also have something similar to that. Am I correct? Where that you have free speech, you have the
Hang on a
ability.
minute. Yeah, I was muted. I do apologise because obviously it's your stream, so I muted myself. Yeah, we do have the freedom of speech, freedom of expression. However, I'm not going to go into the political side of it, but yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, we have the rights of freedom of speech, freedom of expression, as long as it's not fighting talk, or you're basically being racially so it's not racial, religious, or anything else. But you can, up to an extent, say what you want to say.
Yeah,
But
I think it's that way in most countries, save a few. Okay, we know there's a few out there, But I do believe that in most countries that is the case, that there is this freedom of being able to say what you want and being able to disseminate it to the public how you feel about something. And that's basically what Shara is doing. That's what Megan and Tug are doing. Megan and Tug are seeing things that they think are not right.
Hmm.
They're bringing those things forward. They're putting them out there and they're expressing their opinion on those things. And then they're leaving it up to you to make your own decision. They're
Hmm.
not telling you how to think. They're just telling you this is the evidence. You look at it.
Can
If
I
you,
just
uh huh,
point something out before people get confused about the Magna Carta? Right, the Magna Carta. Obviously, I'm going to read this out because I had to look it up myself because I can remember part of it. I knew it was around 12th, 11th century. So I'm going to read this out. The Magna Carta is a historic English charter first agreed by the King John in 1215 under duress from rebel barons to limit his power and protect their rights. Although initially annulled, it was reissued and eventually entered into, well, fucking English anyway, English statute law in 1297, becoming a symbol of liberty and foundation of principles like the rule of law, trial by jury, not by combat, because you wouldn't win anyway, Mr. Luthman, um, and limits on government authority. Now, Scotland, Wales, and I think at one point Ireland, but it was more between the English, the Welsh, and the Scottish. That's why the Magna Carta came up. And here we go. The peace treaty. It was intended as a peace treaty between the king and a group of 25 rebel barons, and obviously there was Scottish and Welsh barons amongst that, but was annulled by the Pope soon after. Reissues and statute law. Um, the charter was reissued several times by King Henry III and later by King Edward I, and the 1297 version became part of the English statute law. Um, Today, we have a lot of bylaws in this country. Like it's against the law to drive without a license. But the thing is, courts these days or police will actually use laws from the 18th century, turn of the 19th century. So there's a lot of how can I put it? There's a lot of loopholes in the British law. Um, but yeah, I mean, one thing I can say is if we decided to cut ourselves away from England, and the Scots done the same, and yeah, it would be very interesting to see what would happen to this island. It would be very interesting to see what would happen.
oh yeah, it's and like I said, most countries do have this established in their criteria whenever they establish their governments that people have the right to say this or have the right to say that. I'll again, like you, I'll play devil's advocate. Lisa has every right to stand up and say I hate Jeremy Hills. She has every right to say that. She can shout it from the rooftops, and I'll defend her till the dying day for her to be able to say that. She has that right. But you can't take it to the next level where you are stating things as facts that are not facts.
Mm.
So even though we have a freedom of expression, or you say freedom of expression, we have freedom of speech, there are still limits to what you can do.
Yeah, it's just like over here, which has been mentioned. I want to say this actually. Um, there's a lot of things that people need to understand about the United Kingdom, right? Free speech in the UK is a fundamental protected right, and it comes under Article 10 of the Human Rights Act of 1998. The only problem is, and I'm going to read this out to you because I need you guys to understand the difference between over in America and over here in the UK, regardless if it's Scotland, Wales, Ireland, or England. I forgot what word. Oh, yeah. Fundamental right to protect under Article 10 of the Human Rights Act of 1998, but it is not absolute and can be restricted under certain conditions, such as to prevent incitement to violence. Now, you need to listen to this, guys. Is to prevent incitement to violence, terrorism, or hate speech and protecting public safety, health, and the rights of others. Public officials must ensure restrictions are lawful, legitimate, and proportionate to the threat. How is it protected? Human Rights Act 94, HRA. That act incorporates the European Convention of Human Rights in the UK law, giving everyone the right to freedom of expression. Article 10. The article states that everyone has the right to hold an opinion and receive and impart information and ideas without interference from public authorities. Limitation on that right. Okay. Not absolute right. The HRA allows for limitations on freedom of expression that are necessary in a democratic society. There's a difference between freedom of speech in this country and expression. Reasons of restrictions. Restrictions can be imposed for reasons such as, by the way, I'm not watching chat right now, national security, public safety and prevention of disorder of crime, protection of health and morals of others, protection of reputation and rights of others, prevention of disclosure of confidential information. This is why I've been warning people, be fucking careful what you do over in America when you want to attack people here in Europe. You think that we don't have rights, but we are protected by stronger rights. All right? Maintaining the authority and impartiality of the judiciary. Examples of prohibited speech. The law prohibits speech that incites unaliving, violence, terrorism, stirs up hatred based on race or of other groups, or causes fear, harm, alarm, or distress. All right? Legal framework and the restrictions. There is a shitload I can go through right now. But I just want to make sure that you also understand that there's been talk about politics over here, okay, where they want to remove, how can I put this in an unpolitical way? They want to remove the act that has that the United Kingdom have signed into from the European Convention of Human Rights. They want to leave that, and if they leave that, you can just imagine what's going to happen in this country. Me personally, I've served and fought for this country. I'm just what I'm going to do. I'm just going to protect my queen, my property, my little four-legged buddies, and friends who need it. Other than that, I've not got anything further to say about that. But freedom of speech is different in every single country, and you over in America, you should be grateful, and so do we here in Europe. We should be grateful that we have freedom of speech, have freedom of expression. Because in some countries, if you say boo to a goose, you disappear. You go to jail. Yeah? And have a
Yeah.
guess what that's called. Anybody? Anyone want to guess what that's called? When you stop.
Tyranny?
A tyranny, apartheid. There you go. But anyway, you carry on. I'll shut up.
Well, see, you done got me confused now. No, I'm just kidding.
Welcome to my world, host.
But yeah, but I really wanted to really touch on that issue that calling these people not journalists whenever they are actually fundamentally performing the acts that were set forth, it's just insane to me. It's degrading and it's insane. Shar is doing each and everything that is listed on here to be a journalist. She is doing everything that needs to be done. And she is not attacking anybody. She is, in fact, calling people out on their BS and showing the proof of what they're doing. She's not just saying it and not backing it up. A lot of people in this situation, this particular case, a lot of people just say a whole bunch of stuff and show absolutely nothing.
That lady deserves a freaking medal.
Absolutely. And let me tell you now, I have gave Shara an earful at times, and I'm not gonna lie and say I haven't, because I have. I also have said to Shara before Shara, made some just different decisions in her life. I've also said to Shara, I believe her heart was pure, and she's defending somebody she thought needed it, but Shara didn't have all the information.
Yeah, and I
And
noticed that halfway, and
and I firmly believe that. I
yeah,
firmly believe that Shara's the kind of person that if she believes you and she believes in you and your cause, she's going to defend you till her dying breath.
just funny you say that. I think it was you who actually who grabbed me by my short and curlies and fucking told me off as well that day. Um, it was around the same time I noticed that like she was being used as a media tool. Could you say it's a media gimmick or media tool? Like because
Yeah,
she, and then you grabbed me to one side, and then you told me what the real what the real story was, and I was like, oh yeah, okay. And I did my own diligence, and that's when I noticed that certain people like Volp and Matskin, they would just step. They were just these. Unfortunately, Shara was a stepping stone for Bruce Matskin.
absolutely. She
You know,
was absolutely used by these people, especially by Bruce,
yeah.
because Bruce looked at her like a, I'm gonna say, information cow, if that makes any sense to
Yeah,
you.
yeah, because she was already knee deep in everything. She was covering everything, and he saw her as, oh look, that's an information desk. I'm gonna, yeah, yeah, obviously,
Yes, and yes, I have spoke to Shara personally. I have talked to her, and I'm going to tell you what. Honestly, a finer person you'll never meet. She's a good person. Shara truly believes in helping those that she feels have been wronged and giving them a voice and helping them get their story out. Shara does try to do it in a way that she listens to, kind of hears both sides. I think she does it more now than she did before because she realizes that she's learned a hard lesson that people are going to lie to her. And she's learned that. And that's a very, very, very bad lesson to learn. So instead of beating a dead horse in the ground, I'll leave it at that. But guys, just so you know, even if I post something, don't take my word for it. Go look it up yourself. Go investigate it yourself. Educate yourself, learn, become a journalist. Share your thoughts and your ideas with other people. Don't be afraid to express yourself. And again, I can't say it enough, guys. Rights are like muscles. If you don't exercise them, you're going to lose them. Now, let's talk about what's going on in court. We've had just a few things happen this week. Not a lot, because of course, we're still on the stay for everything. I checked again today and don't see anything new on the bankruptcy. So if it has been refiled, it's not refiled yet. There was something that came in a little bit after midnight. So unfortunately, Lips and Doritos missed their time limit by just a little bit. That they've asked for another extension on their case with Jeremy because it appears Michael has COVID, according to them, and he's still sick. I do see that getting granted wholeheartedly. I don't think there's going to be an issue. I doubt very seriously Randy will have an issue at all with them extending. They're asking for another 5 days, and I don't think Randy will have an issue with that. Number one, Randy don't want to look like a total jerk, so he's gonna, you can't be but so petty when you're dealing with the court. You have to be professional.
I don't. I would like to see proof of that because considering that, like, I know there's a different strain going around, and there's a lot of scaremongering going around, which is normal. However, history dictates,
Yes.
and unfortunately for them, their history in this whole situation has not been that fucking how can we say sine qua um, truthful. They fabricated a lot of stuff, and look, if you are ill, fine. I hope you get well. I don't will any ill will towards anyone who's ill. However, due to your history with making fabricating and lying and everything else, this is why on Facebook someone put that up, and I just went in there, show proof. Simple 2 words, show proof.
Well,
You know,
the thing is, Megan is calling. Megan says that she wants to see documented proof that he's ill. And I understand her feelings completely because, like you said, they'll lie to you. I can't call my job the day I'm supposed to show up for work and say, "Hey, look, I'm sick. I can't come in." My boss will say, "Bring a doctor's note when you do." You got to take a doctor's note. You got to prove to your job that you were really sick. You got to prove to your job you're really sick. That's life. And anybody that's worked a job, we all know that's a fact. I'm not telling a story because we've all had to do it. We've all had to produce doctor's notes to show that we're ill.
Yeah, I
And
mean, you showed me your doctor's note. To be honest with you, you didn't really have to show me what you said. What you said in the comment was enough for me to go. So that's why I thought, okay, leave it 24 hours. It's probably just a bug,
yeah,
and luckily you're not squirting.
exactly.
Uh,
But that's where we're at in that particular case. We're just they filed it today, so I'm sure, like I said, it'll get approved. Like I always tell you guys, remember, court cases are not races; they're marathons, and it just takes time. There's
exactly.
nothing about a court case that goes by quickly. Nothing ever
Right.
goes
I've got.
quickly.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt you, host. I've got two questions for you.
All
The
right.
first question is, I watched Jeremy's video about the private eye and everything else about that, about all that. And I also would like to know on two levels the bankruptcy thing. I mean, obviously that's I think that's too late to actually even try anything. And the second thing is the fact that we've seen evidence and factual proof, with Lynette's own comments that she has been spending money on welding machines and stuff like that. What do you think the outcome is going to be if she does try to put another bankruptcy lawsuit in? And what is your opinion overall about the Jabba the Hoot thing?
Well, with Lynette refiling her bankruptcy, she's going to have to put all the funds up first to refile the bankruptcy. That was in the dismissal. The judge said that they will not even consider her refiling until she pays up front. That's the first thing. The second thing is that this is a resubmittal, so it has to go for consideration this time, is my understanding. Hopefully, at this point, the court can look back on some of the things that's been turned in, some of the things that's been done so far, and they can either decide to allow her to refile or not refile. It just depends on the court. This is Florida, so the chances of her being able to refile, I would say, are pretty good. She's going to be able to refile the bankruptcy if she gets her paperwork in on time. She's going to be under very, very, very much scrutiny, though, at this point because of what's happened. Um, I do know that as of today, I haven't been able to find anything on the 5013C being reactivated. So I don't see that. So she says that she's filed paperwork to get it reactivated. But again, that's what she says. I haven't seen anything. And until I see it, I'm like Squid. Until it's on the docket, it doesn't exist. And it's not on the docket yet. I mean, it's not, up on the website. It's not showing that it's active. Um, if she is able to refile the bankruptcy, the clock starts ticking again. So it starts from zero again. And then she has to go through everything all over again to refile. It's like the first one never happened. So she has to start back and go all the way forward again. I do know that in Lynette's mind, her filing bankruptcy gets her out of all these court cases. And the reason I know this is because Lynette posted it on the YouTube post. That's basically why they filed the bankruptcy, was to get her out of the court cases.
1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, sweetheart. Sorry to interrupt. Missy lady, I will do that in a bit. For crying out loud. Bearded Man Steve, welcome to the stream. Pleasure to see you here. And Bruce Manskin is not who you think. It is someone else. That is a comedic type of name. So please, people, um, you know, and I know who you are, and you need to stop certain comments. Okay, I know what you're trying to do, and what you're trying. So stop it, please. But other than that, welcome to all the new people. Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you're here. And tonight's host is Mypretty, and yeah, and I'm just the underdog spawn trooper. Just so right, anyway, I'll be
Yeah,
on.
sit back down. No, I'm just kidding. um, but she thinks that she's going to get out of everything. And yes, when you do file bankruptcy, if somebody's suing you for something, a lot of times you can include that particular amount on your bankruptcy, that particular lawsuit. But there is this little tiny clause in there that says there are extenuating circumstances, and that is when you have done something malicious to somebody. I do not believe that that is covered as far as being released under your bankruptcy. If that's the case, then I can go out here and I can do whatever I want to do. I can say whatever I want to say about somebody. I can defame somebody from here to high heaven, and they can sue me, and I can just file bankruptcy, and it doesn't matter. I can just say what I want to say. So there is that little clause in there. Now, as far as stupid Dave, God love him, I understand what he's doing. He thinks that if he's not served, then therefore he can't be a party to the case, which in fact essentially is true. But luckily, our court system has figured out a way to deal with such people that do avoid being served. And that is the next step that Randy is undertaking, I'm sure, is filing for a motion to effect alternate service. Now, before Randy could effect alternate service, that's why Jeremy's going to such lengths to serve Dave beforehand. That's why he's offered the $2,000 for anyone that gives information that leads to Dave being served. He has to exhaust every other possibility before he can go to the next step, which is alternative service. Now, alternative service includes publication. What that means is every one of us has read a newspaper, okay? And we've all read in the classified sections, there's a legal part, and it says legal. And in that legal section, you see stuff about different people, if you're divorcing Joe Blow, you say, I'm divorcing him and all his debts are his, all my debts are mine. I'm not responsible for any of his debts. I know when I got divorced, I had to put that in the newspaper. So that's probably the next step that's going to happen. So now you're going to get a legal notice put in your local newspaper. So everybody in your town is going to know that you're being sued for defamation or whatever you're being sued for. So you're only bringing more attention to yourself. You're only bringing more disrespect or disappointment to your family and your friends, because now everybody's going to know. It's going to go far beyond just the people on YouTube or Facebook that don't live in your area. Your local people are going to know what's happening because you have to advertise it in a local newspaper, and in a newspaper that person would have a chance upon seeing. And I do believe that's going to be the next step that's going to follow. I think Randy is writing that up as we speak, as a matter of fact. But you have to exhaust all other possibilities. Now, once that comes out in the newspaper, Dave don't have to accept it. He doesn't have to do anything. It just has to be published, and he's in.
Yeah, and like, I mean, I did a bit of research on that from the American law, from the U.S. law side of it, and it states if you refuse service, it takes away the ability for you to defend yourself, and it can be like what do you call it, judgment?
A default judgment?
A default judgment, yeah, because the thing is, if you're so adamant that you want to, you want to speak your that what everything that you said and done was justified, and you want to defend yourself, I'm surprised that Swamp Lizard and Jabba the Hoot, they're behaving like this. I mean, at the end of the day, if you have got nothing to hide from and you've got nothing to fear in regards of what you said, because everyone's going on about the First Amendment, then accept the service. If you don't feel safe to do it at home, meet the person at a police station or at a courthouse, where there's witnesses and people, um, and then basically just done. That's it, and it's less hassle on you. And also there'll be less cost for you, because the thing is, in the case when the case is over, they can put those bills that they're paying for these process servers, that all goes into what you'll be owing them at the end of the court case.
Correct.
So yeah,
He's making more trouble for himself in the long run. You're exactly right. Every dollar that Jeremy's spending on trying to serve Dave, by hiring a private investigator, by having a private server, everything he's spending will be added into the amount that he's suing them for. And if he is victorious in his lawsuit, he will be able to recoup those charges, and it will be a judgment against you. He'll be able to recoup every penny that's spent. So I know what they're thinking, okay? Because I'm petty, okay? Squid will tell you I'm petty. So I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, let that, SOB spend all the money he can. Let him try to serve me. He'll have to spend, he's spending the money to serve me, yada, yada, yada. But what you don't understand is that the end game, at the very end of it, if you're found guilty of the charges against you, if you're found guilty of just one of the charges against you, you're responsible for all those costs. And I don't think he's thinking that way. I don't think there's anybody talking to him that way. I don't think anybody is explaining that. That in the end, you're responsible for that. Um, Tat did something similar. And then Tat got in contact with Stark, and he's like, look, he's like, just drop the paperwork off at the courthouse, and I'll go to the courthouse and pick the paperwork up. Before I had somebody come into my house trying to track me down, before I allowed, look at that word, y'all, allowed myself to become a prisoner in my own home and have a stranger come to my house, I would just as soon accept it under my terms, not yours. If you want to if he wants to take the power away from Jeremy, not accepting service is not the way. To take the power away from Jeremy is to accept the service, but accept it on your terms. You go, you pick it up. Nobody comes to your house. Nobody bothers you. There's no private investigator speaking to your neighbors. There's nobody trying to find you. There's nobody hunting you down. You have now gained control of the situation because it's being done on your terms. And I really don't think anybody is explaining this to this young man this way. I really don't think they are. And if they are, he is choosing not to listen. But that's
I
what's
don't
going to
think
happen.
I don't think this is the first time this has happened to him. I'm getting a distinct feeling that he knows the process, and the fact that he's been in the same house for quite a long time, and it's just by pure coincidence that this came up. And at the end of the day, Jabba the Hoot, or shall I address you as David if you're listening? Here's a little bit of advice: grow a spine, because you've got the mouth, you've got the lungs for your mouth, but grow a spine, accept the service, and stand your ground. Because at the end of the day, this is probably the only chance you're going to get to defend yourself. And if you guys want to stir the pot, and you want to rub people up the wrong way, and you want to say the things that you said, but then don't want to defend yourself when it comes to a court case, um, yeah, well, there you go. I mean, it's common sense, really. I mean, if it had been me, I would have went, "Yep, thank you." and I'll
Yeah,
say I'll see you in court.
exactly. Thank you. I'll be there. It's no problem. It's nothing. Look, folks. At the end of the day, it's no different than when you get pulled over for speeding, and the cop comes up to you and he hands you a ticket and he says, "You got a court date on such and such a date and time. I need you to sign right here saying that you're going to appear in court." It's the same principle. He's going to hand you that piece of paper. Then that police officer is going to go on about his business, and you're never going to see him again. He's not going to talk about you. He's not going to remember you. You're going to be just nothing. Or you can be the person that he gives you that piece of paper and you don't show up for court. And the next time you see him is, whenever he's arresting you because you didn't show up. It's real simple. You don't make things harder for yourself than they need to be. I see people all the time get stopped for tickets and they want to argue with the cop on the side of the road.
Yeah.
The time for you to argue your case is in court. You should want to go to court. You should want to be able to explain to the judge what's going on. And I'm not saying that Dave, that he doesn't have a right to feel that way. He does. But he's making himself be a prisoner. He's allowing Jeremy to control him through this service.
All right, then, Marley, my darling, you take care. And I want to point out a couple of things actually about First First Amendment audits and stuff like that. And welcome everybody, all the newcomers. Welcome. Thank you very much for subscribing, and thank you very much for joining us. And remember, hit that subscription button, hit the notification, and hit that thumbs up. Right, here's 2 points I want to make. First of all, at the end of the day, a police officer, right, maybe in the UK, no matter where, or in the United States, no matter where, all right, when they stop you, one, there's a possible reason. So when they come up and approach, okay, they say, "Oh, good afternoon, I'm Officer so-and-so from so-and-so and so-and-so. Do you know why I stopped you?" My typical response will be, "No, but I think you're about to tell me." And they have to tell you what the reasons for the stop is. They can't just go, "Hi, I want you to see your driver license, paperwork, and insurance." You have the right to turn around to anybody who challenges you from continuing on your travel to ask them why, even if it's a police officer. You can ask why, what the reasons for stopping. Don't go into this, "What was your articulable suspicion of me committing a crime?" Don't go into all that crap, because they're just going to get their backs up. They're going to go, "Oh crap, we got one of those. We got one of those driving lawyers," and you're just going to make your life so harder. Right? Do what you need to do. Follow their instructions, even if it's not true what they're saying. All right. Then you ask these questions. If you want to record it, ask these questions. Right. Okay. Have you got, right, you're done for speeding. Right. How did you calibrate that I was speeding? "Oh, I paced you." Right. Okay. From where to where? Right. Okay. Do you have video footage of that? Yes. Right. Okay. And then what you do, you write all this down, you get that information, right? Okay. And then basically what you then do, you go to court, you fight it in court. Now, like I said, over in the United States, I'm not fairly sure. Like, we've got someone here who says that's not true. But at the end of the day, you have the right to ask why you've been stopped. Right? Over here in the UK, in Wales, England, I don't know about Scotland, when you get stopped, okay, the police can only stop you, and they have to tell you that they stopped you under Section 163. Right? That means the police can stop you legally. And then they have to physically tell you or verbally tell you that they have stopped you under Section 163 of the Road Traffic Act. And then also under 164 of the Road Traffic Act, "I want to see your driver's license." Now, they can't do that much if you don't have your paperwork on it. That means that you have to have, they'll give you a ticket, or they'll say a producer. And then you have to produce your information to a police station. But because we've got this ANPR system now, they will look at your number plate, and it will bring up the legal owner of the vehicle, the additional drivers who are allowed to drive that vehicle. It will bring up if the vehicle is insured. And over here in the United Kingdom, there's a thing called MOT, which makes sure that your vehicle is roadworthy and safe. There's the MOT. So you got your insurance, MOT, right? And then everything else on top of that. So it's I mean, you have the right to film it. You have the right to question why they stopped you because right now when you see all these people, uh, you know, uh, if you see all these people and videos I've been watching across the board, all right, about people getting stopped and then kicking off and then sticking a phone in the cop's face and suddenly becoming like a fucking what they call him, um, lion. Well, I can't remember his name, but anyway, and then becoming like a fucking desk jockey, freaking lawyer. You're only making the situation worse because they probably just stopped you because like or speeding or something. I mean, I've seen videos where people have stopped someone and the cops have been really freaking wrong in the way they've approached a person. Say, "Oh yeah, your number plate light's not working." That's a defect, a vehicle defect. That can be fixed as long as your driving lights and your indicators and everything else are working. Right? The police can turn around and say, "Right, it doesn't work. It needs to be fixed." Right? Okay, give me a producer. Right? Okay, no problem. Right? And then you just have to prove it's been repaired. It's yeah, but anyway, I don't want to go down that because that's no disrespect to you, Tay's auditors. Don't know who you are, but welcome to the stream. I'm not an auditor. I don't believe that in America. Fine, you got your First Amendment auditing to people, but over here in the UK, I mean, you're trying the same thing that's going on in the States, and you try it over here. And I've seen a lot of people, take videos and stuff like that at police stations and military bases. And the thing is, they can get you under, hostile surveillance, and that comes under Section 43 of the Anti-Terrorist Act, and that can cause a big problem for you because the more you do it, because we've got different laws in this country than the United States have. But anyway, we're digressing. My pretty, carry on. I'm going to shut up.
But but in all essence, Dave is hurting himself more than he's helping himself, and I really don't think he's understanding that. And if Dave is actually locking himself in his house, and Dave is having these mental issues, and I believe that he is, and my heart goes out to him for those because I have a child that has very high anxiety, so much to the point that my child would literally have seizures because her anxiety would get so high. So I do understand, and my heart does go out. But like I had to teach her, you can't do things to exasperate that. You can't do things to make it worse. And he's hurting himself and he's making it worse. It's so much easier just to say, okay, I accept it and I'm done. Now, only me's offered him an attorney. He'll have an attorney that'll fight the case for him. He'll be good to go. Don't let it stress you. So that's what I think is going to happen with those two things. I just foresee that happening. The only other thing that really happened in the case is, of course, Ray, in the federal 2 case, Ray filed his motion to dismiss. That's before the court now. I got some issues with the motion to dismiss. A few things, a few case laws that were cited. I don't see how they apply. But, I'm not the judge sitting there reading it. He might get something more out of it than I did. We're just waiting on that. So far, you've got Lisa's motion to dismiss and you've got Ray's motion to dismiss that's in there. I'm assuming that the next one to come in is going to be one from Robbie. And it'll keep going from there. Every one of them is going to file a motion to dismiss. There's not a question in my mind about it. That's the first thing that you do. That's just standard. Everybody does it. They're going to do it. It's going to happen. They're going to come in. Unfortunately, everything again is just being on hold from what's happening with the bankruptcy. So we shall see. We shall see. It's definitely interesting. It's definitely turned out to be more than what I thought it was going to be. These court cases are taking a life of their own, to be honest with you. And
I think these court cases. Sorry,
No, I'm
go
saying
ahead.
it's very interesting that they're taking on a life of their own.
Yeah, and Tays auditors, thanks very much for the input, Steve, about the Steve Leto. I will have a look into that actually, because the guy's an attorney and he also taught in the Michigan University, I believe. So I will have a little bit. And I appreciate give me this research because I'm quite interested to hear it from someone who's a professional lawyer. But this whole these court cases that have happened, everything that's happened from the get go, I just think is absolutely insanity. I mean, and thanks to the anti what the hell's ecosystem, it went from just two. Yeah, cough it up, mate. Yep,
I
get it
know.
out of your system. It basically went from a normal court case of the defamation and slander or libel, whatever you want to call it, and it turned into a complete circus with everyone throwing their shovel full of shit into the center, and no one was willing to pick up, the shit stick. But it,
It's turned into a flea circus.
basically, yeah,
It
basically, yeah,
is. It
yeah,
has.
yeah, basically, it has, and a lot of people and a lot of people are being affected by all this, and there's a lot of other people who have jumped onto the bandwagon, and they now are emotionally involved in everything what's going on. It doesn't matter if it's Jeremy Hill's side, it doesn't matter if it's the ecosystem side, it doesn't matter if it's like people on platforms like Megan or Tug or anyone else. There's a lot of people. You can tell people are emotionally involved, and that you have to distance yourself from something that you are not part of. You are an observer. You are sitting on the outside and you are watching what's going on. I mean, the moment you emotionally involve yourself, you lose all aspects of reality. Yes, you may be pissed off. Yes, you're angry because of what's being said or what's being done. But you have to draw the line between you being emotional and you not being able to do jack shit, pardon the French, to do anything about it because it's nothing to do with you. It's not your problem. And unfortunately, the crampons, Jabba the Who, Mr. Magoo, Mr. Skeletor, hello you guys, right? And freaking Lips and everyone else, they have used, let's be honest, and I'm not, they have used John Cook, Lynette Preston, and the Little One as a stepping stone to get their agenda out there. Because if they really cared about those three, we would have seen every single penny that the crampons received in donations. We would have seen complete transparency and proof. We would have seen a lot more than we have seen.
You're
And
right.
and if you want to call me, oh you're oh fucking spawn trooper, spam trooper, oh you're full of shit, you don't know what you're talking about, you're not an American. No, I'm not. But I tell you one thing, the minority of Americans that I've come across, that there's a minority who don't deserve to have access to the internet because of this shite they talk. Most of the people that I have met so far, including my community, this community here, our community, sorry, and Squid's community and everyone else's community, some people may not agree. We may not agree with each other, but it doesn't mean that we have to become nasty. Now, that's what's happened, and
You're right.
and the biggest issue is this is not going to stop unless people start backing away. Because at the end of the day, no matter what you say, you're not going to get the result that you want. You're not going to, I mean, I've had people accuse me of everything and God knows what. Do you know what? If you want to make accusations, then that means you need to prove those accusations. Until then, shut the fuck up. Otherwise, okay, get in your car, get all your money out the bank, drive down to Florida, and complete that barnuminium yourself. Simple. And if you get in your car, go to Jeremy House and go, right, here's some money for another lawyer. Let's get a lawyer team. Let's do an OJ Simpson trial. Let's get all these lawyer teams going. Because to be perfectly honest with you, I called it on the trespass. I called it on the on the freaking thumbnail. And not just me. DJ Raz did. A lot of people called it. Right? A lot of people are taking credit from other people's hard work and hard observation. There's only so much you guys, ladies and gentlemen, can put into this. Only so much. Now, oh, well, look at him, he's ranting. No, I'm trying to freaking tell you the realistic viewpoint that I've got on this. This case can go on for years. Are you going to sit here every day and just carry on watching it?
Yeah.
Just saying.
But you're right. It is going to continue. It is going to continue if it just continues to unfold more and more layers. It
Yep.
continues to unfold.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, it's very interesting, especially for me. I'm a huge, person when it comes to law. I enjoy the law. I'm like Squid. I love to read the court paperwork. I like to see what was said. I like to see how it was presented. And that's what I get out of it. I enjoy that part.
Mm.
But do I see good and bad on both sides? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I see good and bad on both sides.
I mean, I'm no angel. I've said things that I don't regret because they needed to be said at the time. But at the end of the day, am I involving myself in this court case on an emotional level? Absolutely not. Because
No.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm surprised that Jeremy, George, I'm surprised that them two are still talking normal. And you can tell the pressure and the stress they're under. And you could, the thing that really, really got my attention was that night when there was a medical health scare with George.
Right.
And Jeremy just broke down. And, it's not, oh, poor boy. No, it's like that man there is hurting big time. And any of you who've got a partner, and if you haven't, I apologize, but anyone who has got a loved one and they're in dire straits or they got a health issue or something like that, you're going to worry about that person no matter what. And people took mocked him about that. People laughed at him for that. And I found that was the most disgusting thing that people could do. That's how bad this situation has got. That people will the toxicity, the level of toxicity is palatable to say the least. And that there proved 100%.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you completely on that. It has taken its own life. It's like this thing is it's gone away from the court case. It's gone away from the main principle of what the court cases are about.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the other court cases came from. Is because it stopped being about Lynette and what was going on with her and started being about other people. And that spawned another court case, and that spawned another court case. It's like planting a potato plant. You plant one potato, and then before long, when you go to harvest it, that one little piece of potato, you done got a whole bushel of potatoes.
Exactly. And the thing is, it's and that was all caused by Bruce Matskin. He caused that. He caused that sprout of little tentacles to go out in different directions. And Squid, if you're listening, I do apologize. I didn't mean, but he was the catalyst for that. And the thing is, when you've got two people who have got a bone-chilling hatred towards Jeremy, and they character assassinate, and they slander and defame and make up shit, and and then suddenly they are like the legal team and the PR team for Lynette Preston, and then suddenly you've got the grifting going on. I mean, anyone with any type of common sense would have seen exactly what was going on there.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. So what do you have for us today for our intermission? Do you have a song?
For our intermission, I've got multiple pictures, but for our intermission, I just got that.
Oh.
Yes, you see that six-pack I got? That took me so long. I mean, like, I mean, obviously that's that. I mean, I don't know. I need to clean up my arms because I just put both of my arms into a marsh like a bit, and unfortunately I couldn't get the sound. But what we're going to do, we're going to go for a quick 5-minute intermission so everyone can go and get their refreshments and make themselves comfortable. And then right after this, we will be going into film reviews. And I personally have got three films that I would like to talk about. But obviously, Mypretty is the host. So Mypretty will be going first after the intermission. And what do you guys want? Do you want the normal? Yeah, actually, just let me surprise you. Right. So remember, mute your mic, Mypretty.
I will.
And let's go and have a little bit of entertainment, shall we? And by the way, the music that you're going to hear was created not just by DJ Rattus, but also by JK Films. So obviously, if you know him, go and send him some love. Okay. So enjoy the tunes. We'll be right back in about 5 minutes.
This one's going straight from our hearts to the boots of the Valley Knight Spawn Trooper, baby. You've got these crampons skanking in love.
This one's going straight from our hearts to the boots of the Valley Knight. Spawn Trooper, baby, you've got a skanking in love. He's got boots full of rhythm and a stare like tea, trooping through the hills humming harmony. He don't say much, but he speaks in bass, and we melt like butter when he looks our way. He swapped his shield for a velvet beat, daffodils tucked where the skankin' meets. Oh, trooper, trooper, we see you glide, got us floating in lace through the countryside. We love you, Spawn Trooper, slow like honey, sweet like rain. We love you, Spawn Trooper,
Slipping through our window pane.
we love you, Spawn Trooper.
Like a lemon on a lazy breeze.
You make our hearts go loopy
with your reggae melodies. There's a tambourine moon in your knapsack, boy, and your dubplate dreams feel like lemon joy. You skank on clouds, we follow slow. You're a rhyme in boots, you steal the show.
We'd write your name on a biscuit tin, crochet your face on a jacket pin. We'd kiss your shadow if it walked our way. Spawn Trooper, you make rainy days okay. We love you, Spawn Trooper,
Soft like fog and daffodil dew.
we love you, Spawn Trooper,
We'd skank all day just dreaming of you.
we love you, Spawn Trooper.
Socks on the line, beats in our teeth.
We are the crampin' sweet and slow,
And we love you so eternally. They call him Spawn Trooper.
they call him Spawn.
Okay, we 1 second. We got a bit of an issue here. Just let me sort this out, please. Trooper, bum bum bum. Right. Okay. Let me just fix this, and then we'll get cracking. Again, I humbly apologize for the technical difficulties, but you just can't win them all the time. Right. Okay. So the next one is going to be, shit. Where is it? It's everyone's favorite. Obviously, I need to play it. If I don't play it, I'm going to get my ass whooped. So here we go.
Spawn Trooper, he don't beat round the bush, man. He just say what he do, and he mean what he say, man. Laid back boots in a hillside breeze, sipping Dr. Pepper with his dragon at ease. Loofah, he like many gifts of the loofah. Loofah, leaves him hanging in his barracks like a banner. He scrubs truth into the skin of the land with a daffodil smile and a calloused hand. Don't mess with the Englishman, I mean the Irishman. Wait, the Scottishman. Oh shit, I mean the Welshman. He'll give you a stare and a proverb too, then vanish on a mountain like the mist dew. He don't need no war, no heavy command, just a melody line and a sponge in hand. When Babylon's stress tries to ruin his calm, he just hums and he scrubs like a loofah bomb. Loofah, loofah, he's the hillside soother. Trooper, trooper, the drill bug mover. He sings what he means and he means what he says. Spawn trooper got the grime of the world washed away. Spawn trooper, he don't beat round, he just be round. Loofah man, cleaning the vibe of the whole damn land. Trooper, trooper, loofah man, cleaning the vibe of the whole damn land.
And just one, because this was this was done for me. I think DJ Rattus did this one for me, and it's only fair to have the crampons to introduce the stream. So why not?
Hey, this is Fat Lisa Lee. Smash that subscribe button on Spawn Troopers YouTube channel if you love a one-stop shop for epic gaming content, wild court trial breakdowns and motions, and no-nonsense investigations into online drama and internet nonsense. Whether he's roasting shady YouTubers or dropping headshots in-game, Spawn Trooper keeps it real, keeps it smart, and always keeps it entertaining. Join the squad. You won't regret it.
Well, I really appreciate that, Lisa. Thank you very much for your endorsement, and I really appreciate that. So, excuse me a second. I'm just gonna. Excuse me. I muted the wrong bloody one. Okay, right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next segment, which is the film review. So we're going to let that's if Mypretty is back.
I'm back.
Oh God, don't make me jump like that. Right. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to mute myself. Obviously, you're the host for tonight, and you crack on. And after you're done, I'll do my free.
Okay. I'm a huge history buff, so I love a movie about something that really happened. I love a movie about history, a historical event. And I do like everybody else does. I sit there and scroll through those reels on Facebook or scroll through TikTok, and I watch all that little stuff. And I saw this movie advertised, and I'm like, I've never heard of this movie before. Where did I miss this at? And the name of the movie is called Race. And it is the true life story of Jesse Owens. He was a 4-time gold medal winner in the Olympics in 1930. I do believe it was 1936. And it touches on his experience of going to Ohio State University and him going and then qualifying for the Olympics and actually going over to Germany when Germany held the Olympics, going over to Germany and having to participate in the Olympics in Germany. And it was really cool for me because I found a lot of stuff that, I didn't know. They don't teach you this stuff in school. These are things that, unfortunately, we don't teach our children. I didn't realize that when Jesse Owens went over to Germany before they ever went to the Olympics, with everything that was going on with Germany at the time, the United States Olympic team was kind of like, I'll say, in cahoots with the German Olympic team on, what we could and basically couldn't do. We did take 2 Jewish participants with us that were on the actual running team. And when Jesse got over there, he actually went up against the greatest German runner that they had. His name was Lutz. And Jesse beat him. And this gentleman, Lutz, was very cordial to Jesse on the field. He shook his hand. In fact, when Jesse won his 3rd gold medal, this gentleman actually run the victory lap with Jesse. And this really upset the leader of the German country at the time. and he actually left. He got so mad that he left the stadium. He left and did not meet with Jesse Owens at all. And when he was questioned about that, they were they were told he would never meet with somebody like him. And it just really explains this man's life and what he went through, and it kind of gives you an idea of how the times were over in Germany during that time, and how we went into this country, and the things that the Americans experienced while we were there in Germany, and what people saw and what was really going on and happening behind the scenes. And it even said that Lutz, the guy that lost to Jesse, as soon as Germany went to war, they put this man on the front line and sent him away instantly because, of course, at that point he was dispensable. But it's a really good film. It's got a lot of history in it. I'm a kind of person, once I watch a film that has to do with the true story, I like to go find out about the true story to see how much the film got right and how much the film got wrong. And this film actually did a really good job. It really touched on a lot of the things that this man lived in his life and what happened to him when he come back from being over there winning 4 gold medals in one Olympics. What happened to him whenever he came home? The reception that he got. Did people change? People sometimes treated him different. Sometimes they didn't. He went to a banquet in his honor with his head coach, and they still made him walk around back and go in through the service entrance. They wouldn't even let, even though the banquet was in his honor, inside this hotel, they wouldn't let him walk in through the front door. And so if you like history, if you like true stories, the Jesse Owens story is absolutely one of the best that I've seen in quite a while. It was amazing. It kept me interested. It went by so fast that by the time the movie was over, I couldn't believe the movie was over. I wanted to know more. I wanted to learn more about it. I found it on Netflix. So if anybody has Netflix, you can find it on there. It's an exceptional movie that you can watch, and I think it's something that would be good to sit down and even watch with your teenagers. Your younger kids aren't going to get it, but your teenagers are. They can see, what transpired, and how far we've come as a country from where we were then to where we are now, and how far we still have to go, because we still have situations in our country that we need to address. But guys, if you get a chance to watch it, the name of it is Race, and it is the Jesse Owens story. And I definitely give it 2 thumbs up. It was excellent, absolutely excellent. And Spawn, you said you had a couple that you had watched. What did you see?
Oh yeah, I've got a couple, but I'm going to look at the two that I've actually watched recently. The first one is called Osiris, spelled Osiris. The film is new. It's out. It came out this year, and obviously it's an American science fiction film written and directed by William Kaufman, and it stars Max Martini. He's a freaking good actor, by the way. Michael Irby, Linda Hamilton, which old school, if anyone remembers Terminator. And you've also got what's his name again? What's his name? No, not his. Her name, Brianna Heidelbrand. And it's about a special operations or special forces, a U.S. special forces team led by someone called Sergeant Kelly. And basically, they get ambushed while they're on deployment. They get ambushed by an alien, and they are beamed up. And basically, they wake up totally disorientated and confined in translucent stasis pods. And when they get out of these pods, they realize that, hi, Slug, welcome to the stream. Good to see you, buddy. Um, and basically, they're inside a spacecraft. And obviously, as they're recovering, basically the pods start to dissolve, and yeah, all hell breaks loose. And then suddenly they bump into some Russian woman, played by Linda Hamilton. And yeah, obviously I've already seen it. I don't want to give it that much away, but I give it 8 out of 10 for action storyline. And if you want to go and watch it, it is basically it's worth watching. It's just under 2 hours long. It's about 110 minutes, and it was released on July the 25th of this year. So go and check it out. The second film I want to talk about is The Amateur. All right, and basically, The Amateur is it's based on the a CIA cryptographer called Charlie Heller, married, and it starts off really nice. It starts off really good, and basically, he goes into work and things start popping up, and he's in contact with an agent who've been sort of like collaborating with the CIA for quite a while, and things obviously just get really interesting. However, at one point, his wife goes over to Europe, funny enough, in the UK, and something goes wrong, and unfortunately, she's unalived by one of the terrorists. I live in real life. She's unalived. And obviously, he then goes on a rampage. And because he has no skills, he's not a field operative. He's a computer specialist, and boy, it's all I can say is it is worth the watch if you really, really want to enjoy a good film. And I think this film was absolutely freaking awesome. The main character obviously is Rami Malek. Um, Osiris, Max Martini. Sorry, yeah, Max Martini. My apologies. In The Amateur, you got Rami Malek, who plays the Charlie Heller. Then you got John John Berntal, right? And then you got Lawrence Fishburne as well. So you got some A-listers in this film. And again, this came out April this year. It's about just over 2 hours long, and it is absolutely fantastic. You need to pay attention to it.
Now, is
Now,
it a true story?
no, it's well, I mean, I'll just read. Let me 1 second. Please hold. Okay, I've got it. Right. Amateur is a 2025 American action thriller film directed by James Hawes and written by Ken Nolan and Gary Spinelli. It is based on a 1981 novel by Robert Littell, which was previously adapted in a 1981 Canadian film. It stars Ramek Ellie, who also produced Rachel Brosnahan. Yeah, anyway. Plot. Charlie Heller is restored an old Cessna as a present from his wife, Sarah, who lives for a business trip to London. At the CIA's decrypting and analysis division, Charlie has befriended a field agent, Jackson O'Brien, codenamed The Bear, and an anonymous source, codenamed Equiline. Classified files of Equiline reveal Special Activities Center Director and child boss Alex Moore disguised politically motivated drone strikes and unaliving bombings. Charlie is subsequently brought to CIA Director Samantha O'Brien, who informs him that Sarah has been unalived in a terrorist attack. A grieving Charlie soon presents his own findings after an arms deal gone wrong. The four assailants took Sarah and others hostage, unaliving her before escaping. Charlie identifies the suspects, Belarusian criminal Mishka Blasek, South African ex-Special Forces operative Alesh, former Armenian intelligence officer Gresham Frank, and elusive mastermind Horst Schiller, Sarah's unalivers. But Moore and his deputy, Gallic Howitz, insist they are working to take down Schiller's entire network, determined to avenge Sarah. Charlie confronts Moore with his incriminating orders that cause hundreds of civilians and allied casualties. Threatening to leak the information, Charlie demands the resources and mission-specific training at the farm to personally hunt down the four assailants. So I don't want to read out too much because it'll just be given away, right? But I do want to say, Slug, it's so good to see you. I hope that you're doing well. Anyway, now the third film I want to talk, if we still got time, host.
We got all the time in the world, honey.
All right, well, thank you very much. Basically, it's a film from 2011, and it's called Source Code, and it's a science fiction action thriller. And directed by Duncan Jones and written by Ben Ripley. It stars Jake Gyllenhaal as a U.S. Army officer who is sent into an 8-minute virtual recreation of a real life train explosion, and tasked with determining the identity of the terrorists who bombed it. Michelle Monaghan, Vera Farmiga, and Jeffrey Wright play supporting roles. It had its world premiere on March 11th, 2011, at South by Southwest, and was released by Summit Entertainment on April 1st, 2011. In North America and Europe, and it received positive reviews, critics, and a box office success, grossing over 147 million, and it only had a 31 million budget. Basically, the plot: U.S. He's a U.S. pilot, Captain Coulter Stevens, wakes up in a Metra commuter train going into Chicago. He is disoriented, and his last memory was of flying a mission in Afghanistan. However, the world around him, including his friend Kristen Warren and his reflection in the train windows and mirrors, he appears to be a different man. The school teacher named Sean Fentress, as he expresses his confusion to Christina, the train explodes while passing another train. Basically, he is then sent back in a couple of times. He then starts questioning his seniors, and it turns out that the only thing of him is his torso and obviously head and arm, and he's unconscious. I'm not going to give too much away. Obviously, that's giving a little bit away. However, it came out, like I said, in April 2011, and it goes about an hour and a half, just over an hour and a half, and and it's English, and it is, what do they call it? Sci-fi. Yeah, there you go. It's a sci-fi. So those are the three films that I wanted to discuss, and I hope that if you get a chance, go and check them out. Sometimes old films and sometimes new films are quite good. Also, Alien Earth. I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate that certain companies like Disney and other companies, they throw these 28-minute sequels out, and like you're supposed to be a fan of that. But hey, there you go. And that's it on the three films that I've discussed. So basically, you got the Source Code, Osiris, and the Amateur.
Well, I watch with my son. My son works at night. He works night shift, and
Yeah.
so we've been watching anime. He's been introducing me into the world of anime,
Yeah.
and so and I'll touch on this real quick. We just started a new one called Solo Leveling, and he watches this on Crunchyroll. I don't know what kind of platform that is, but that's where we go to watch it, is on Crunchyroll. And I'm gonna tell you what, I've never watched. I mean, this thing starts from the get-go in a fight, and it just doesn't let up. It's just bam, 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 bam. It's not something necessarily that I would let under 13 watch, but 13 and over would be okay. But this thing has just captivated me from jump. We're only in it 2 episodes, and I just can't stop thinking about this stupid show. If somebody told me 10 years ago that sitting here at 54 years old, I would be watching anime cartoons and crying with them and getting excited with them and getting all into it. It's like watching a daggum boxing match. I'm sitting up going, go, go, go. But Solo Leveling, if you like anime, or if your grandchildren or your children like anime, guys, this one is absolutely on point. I'm telling you, it is amazing so far. Amazing.
So what was your film called again?
Race, RACE. And it's the Jesse Owens story.
Okay.
It's just, that was really good too. That was exceptional.
I mean that does sound quite good. And I have to guess what?
What?
You did really well tonight. You did
Did
really,
I?
really well.
Did I do
And
a good job?
I mean, like, I am extremely impressed. I'll be honest with you. I'm very impressed. You know, that's why I kept quiet as much as I possibly could, because I just wanted to give you the platform and give you the chance to, spread your wings, so to speak.
Well,
And
coming from you, that means an awful lot. You have no idea.
what do you mean with that?
Because it does. It means a lot. And I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. I'm learning.
Well,
I'm learning.
well, at the end of the day, guys, remember, go and show your love for Mypretty. Go and show your love, and go and hit that subscribe button. All right, because I really would love to actually, you know, come to your stream and sit in there and just like totally derail you. You
Well,
know.
it's funny that you say that because once we do
Oh,
get moved and everything, I'll have an extra bedroom. I'm actually going to make that into my studio. And I figured I would bring you on and interview you on my very first live stream.
wait, why me?
Cause I want you.
Steve, are you here? Steve, are you hearing this?
Hey, let
Look,
Steve
I'm
say
not just
take her.
listen. I'm not just a piece of like jewelry that you can just pass around like, I'm just like a toy or something. I mean, I've got rights.
But I figured I'd bring you on and really interview you and let people kind of get to know you a little bit and get some information from you about what it's like over there versus what it's like over here. And so I thought that would be my very first live stream.
Well, but we can do that. But there's one thing I am not going to discuss is the political stance.
Yes,
What's got,
I don't want to talk about political stuff. That's no fun. I
yeah.
want to know what it's really like. Different things that you guys eat, and things that y'all eat over there, things that y'all do over there, celebrations that y'all have. Just kind of just a little bit of back and forth, and I think that'll be great.
No, I mean it is, because the thing, I mean, it wouldn't stop anything that happens on the Mondays with us. But I mean, you are really funny. I mean, even though you're a pain in my ass sometimes, but that's beside the point. Um, she bullies me a lot, but and the thing is, like, it's only fair to help you, spread your wings, because like coming on here. And hopefully after this court case, we can bring someone else on, and we can do like a panel, and that's what I'm going to do at some point. I need to think about it in depth, and there's a couple of things that I've got planned that I'm not going to discuss publicly, but some people are going to be quite interested in it. Well, I hope they will be anyway.
Yeah, I think it'd be great.
Yeah, but you've done really well. I mean, you stuck to the topics. I mean, I was like, woof. Hence why I was like, privately going, hey, okay, let's go on to the, you know.
Hey, look, you can teach an old dog new tricks. I'm learning.
That's what she said. Actually, that's what she did say. Right. Okay. So we're now going to move on to this one. We're going to have a 5-minute coffee time, so basically people can then now decompress and take all the information in that they've received. And yeah, I'm really happy that you're here tonight. I mean, I know you were poorly, but we've covered quite a lot, and it's very interesting, because I think that I really do hope that people actually see the light at the end of the tunnel and go, do you know what? Yeah, I think becoming emotional. Look, at the end of the day, I don't care about the grifts and about the scams and God knows what else what goes on either side or anybody. I don't really care. I'm not interested in that. But you're never going to stop me from telling the truth and showing the truth and with facts and proof. That's my mission. But people need to disconnect themselves from this case across the board emotionally. They need to disconnect. Otherwise, you're just gonna put yourself in a conundrum that's going to affect you and your daily life.
Yeah,
And then one day,
at
not
the end,
you.
we're just At the end, we're just spectators.
Yeah.
We're doing no different than people watching a football game.
Exactly. And it's just like watching a film. At some point, yeah, you're watching a film, you are going to get involved in that film. You're going to choose one of the characters, and you're going to be, supporting that character, just like a football team. When you go to a football game, you're supporting your team. So with this whole thing, like me personally, with some people, I would love to see them in a boxing ring or in a because it does exist, a medieval MMA.
Yeah.
Fully suited MMA medieval fight. That would be brilliant. Hey, Luthman. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
Are you gonna throw down the gauntlet?
What's that Robin Hood film? That satire film where the sheriff of Nottingham walks over to what's his name and slaps him in the face with a glove, and then
Is
he
it Princess Bride? Is that it? Is it Princess Bride?
I can't remember the Robin Hood, the Robin tights or what anyway.
Robin Hood and tights. That's it.
Yeah.
Robin Hood and tights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he picks up that freaking armored glove and just
Yeah,
slaps that guy across.
Like what
It's
in
like,
the world? You think about the stupid stuff people did back in the day.
I mean, funny enough, looking at that glove, that is actually a cavalry glove that belonged to someone on a horse because it protects the hands and the fingers.
Right.
So yeah, can you imagine getting slapped in the face with that freaking thing? It'll put your jaw around the back of your head. Oh, men in tights. There you go. Thanks very much, Simon.
Okay, men in tights.
Yeah, just thinking about it. I mean, I've actually got picturing them. Remember that song they sang?
That would, speaking about stuff like that, it would be neat to do a stream on like how people in the military fought throughout the ages. Because you take
God,
you take our Revolutionary War. I mean, they literally stood in a line and just marched towards each other and shot.
But here's the thing: the worst thing is in your civil wars. I mean, like obviously they were like 50 yards, probably less than that, away from each other. You literally could see them smiling. I mean, can you imagine the conversations before they opened fire? So, oi, Southerner, fuck you, bang.
Yeah, it's like it's insane. It was like crazy. I watched huge Civil War buff. Civil War buff. It's like my favorite part in history. And I watched some of these. I've been to Gettysburg and everything, and you see the reenactments and all, and they literally just walk towards each other.
Yeah.
No, not hiding behind no cover, not hiding behind no tree.
Yeah. the thing is, this is what I would love. This is one of the things I would love is to see you or Squid or someone who's got their platform up and going, is to actually cover the Civil War, because there are so many spots in America. You got Guinnessburg, you got what's that freaking place where Custer? Where is that?
Well, Custer was not Civil War.
No. It's things like that.
Yeah, you got it. You got Atlanta. I used to live up around Manassas, and we were we were members of the battlefield that's there in Manassas, where where the actual first battle of the Civil War started. Yeah. And I love that stuff. I love it. It's just so much. It's so steeped in history, and it's so steeped in sort of like what's going on right now, where people get more emotionally involved with things than they need to. The Civil War to me is where emotions took over versus common sense. And it's just, I love it. It's just such a wonderful time in history. I mean, it was a bad time in history, but it was a wonderful time in history where so many things changed and it shaped our country so much. It was incredible.
I mean, here's the thing, God, what's it called?
Well, now, if you don't know, how are we supposed to know? There can only be one person living in that mind at a time.
Like in 1812, when there was the conflict between the United States and Great Britain, there was that. Okay, and then like in oh God, where was it? When was the Maxim gun? Maxim gun was created in 1861. Yeah. Anyway, the Civil War that you had over there was in 1861.
Right. So
Right?
it
And I
started.
think it went on for 5 years or 4 years
Yeah.
or 5 years or something like that between the North and the South, uh, and one thing that I've done, and I've just done it now, all right, basically you've got the battles of American Civil War were fought between 1861 and 1865 in 19 states, mostly Confederate, Alabama, Arkansas. Let's see if I can actually pronounce these. Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, Missouri, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, yeah, Vermont, Virginia, West Virginia, the District of Columbia, 6 territories, Arizona Territory, also Confederate Arizona, Colorado Territory, Dakota Territory, Indian Territory, present day Oklahoma, New Mexico Territory, and Washington Territory. Did I mispronounce any of them?
No, you did pretty good. I'll give you credit.
Thank you. The list of battles organized and campaign. So Eastern Theater. Basically there were Mississippi. Right, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 theaters of war. You had Eastern Theater. You had Western Theater, Trans-Mississippi Theater, Pacific Coast Theater, Lower Seaboard Theater, and category battles of America, blah, 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 blah. Right? So basically you had Battle of Fort Sumter. That's that film with the 55th rifles, isn't it?
I'm
That,
not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not certain. I know that the first firing happened was on Fort Sumner.
yeah, no, but there was an all-black battalion.
That was what the 54th, wasn't it?
Yes,
That
the
was
54th.
Glory.
Yeah.
When we watched that, when we did that film Glory.
Yes, that's it. That's the one. That's the
Yeah.
film. Yeah, Glory, guys. If you go and want to watch that, that's it. Anyway, so you had Battle of Fort Sumner, Battle of Cyril Point. You had Aquia Creek. I don't know if I pronounced that. Sorry if I didn't. Which was in Virginia. Philippi, Battle of Philippi, Battle of Big Bethel, Boonville, Hoax Run, Carthage. I'm richly good, but that's Confederate. You had Rich Mountain, Blackburn's Ford, the Bull Run, or first Manassas.
Yeah,
Then
Manassas. There was 2 battles fought there in Manassas.
and then you had Wilson's Creek, Kessler's Cross Lane, Hatteras Inlet Batteries, Drywood Creek, Carnifet. There are shitloads of places.
Oh yeah, and especially like in. I mean, you can't go probably less than 50 miles down here that there is not some type of battle that was fought in that area. It's all over.
Oh my God, the list is up.
It was incredible. That's why I said it's like my favorite time in history. It was really, really incredible.
Oh, good. Jesus. There are, I mean,
It was.
I mean,
It
you
was
could
really
richly, I mean, if you really wanted to, you could richly have at least 40 different freaking live streams just covering each battle.
And these
That's
are just the
insane.
battle. These are just battles that were actually documented. It's not including the ones that, not including the things that happened that weren't a designated, quote unquote battle.
Yeah. Right. And just for everyone, just so you know what I'm looking at, this is what I'm looking at. So I haven't been paying attention to streams. So that's what I've looked at. That's insane. Right. What did Tay say? Custer graduated from West Point in 1861. Oh, so what happened to Custer must have been after the Civil War then. But that's another stream. Custer. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I knew he fought in the Civil War, but I knew what you were talking about when you were talking about when you were mentioning Custer. Yeah, but I knew he fought in the Civil War.
Well, I'll put I'll put this link in I'll put the films that we spoke about, and I'll put that link in chat as well, so people can have a look at it, because we have discussed it. So It's only fair that we put it in the description. But now comes the best part of the stream, and you know you like this part.
Oh, I like this part.
It's the
Question
question
and
and
answer time.
Oh yeah.
Only thing off limits is my bra size. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
For the right amount of money, I'll tell that to you now.
I mean, I don't know if I should be. I should be. Feel scared or.
No, ask away. Any questions you got?
Yeah, we
Oh, my
don't
Sarah
mind.
Joy is here. My Sarah Joy is here.
I didn't do it. I did not do it.
Guys, if you don't know, Sarah Joy helps me in the Facebook groups. She is absolutely my right arm, and I couldn't do anything that I do without having her right there beside me. A greater friend I'll probably never have in this world, besides one other person, and I tell you what, she is absolutely special. Gail, to be honest with you, I am a 42 triple D.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Hey, I told her she could ask.
No, not
I'm
saying
proud.
anything. No, not
I'm
saying
proud.
anything. No,
I'm proud.
I'm not saying anything.
And I didn't have to pay for mine either. My mama gave them to me.
Oh my God.
Hey, you're the one that gave me control.
Probably too bloody much. I need to remember to.
Oh,
No.
Janet, yes. Field of Lost Shoes. Field of Lost Shoes is a funny thing about this. One of my best friends in high school actually was an extra in the Field of Lost Shoes. And that was absolutely an amazing movie about the Civil War. Gail, you just asked me, did I answer it? You know me. You deal with me on a daily. You know I'm going to answer it. But yeah, Field of Lost Shoes is a great movie about the Civil War. You guys are going to love it. That's really good. Oh, he was. They said General Custer. That Custer was a general, too, in the Civil War, and then he was busted down to lieutenant colonel for the Indian Wars. I did not know that. I didn't know that he got busted. He got busted down. I didn't know that.
Do you know? I can't believe I've just been talking. I had my fucking mic muted. Oh my God.
You're licking the screen, ain't you? You're licking that screen.
Yes. And I'm proud of it. So.
You learn from the best.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you'd be very surprised. Sometimes I sit here and I listen to yourself, or I even though I don't respond to some of the comments, I do read your comment, and I'm quite there's a lot of information, Taze, and other people have made comments. It's very interesting because I didn't realize that Custer got demoted. That's.
I didn't know that either. And Texas Alien, I've never seen the movie about Jim Thorpe.
Who?
Do you know the name of it by chance?
Jim Thorpe? No, I haven't got a clue. Have not got a clue.
No, but definitely share and chat the name of the movie.
He wasn't busted down, just not wanted as a general.
Oh,
yeah,
okay, I got you. Okay.
Why, Paul? Question of interest: was Custer trigger happy, or did he just not follow the rules, or was he discriminating against the Native Americans? Because I mean, what caused it to stop him from progressing in rank? What were the reasons? Do you know?
Yeah, I've never really studied much on Custer. For some reason, it just didn't pull my attention. But I didn't know that he was anything other than General Custer. That's all I've ever heard him talked about as General Custer.
Interesting.
The name of the movie is Jim Thorpe.
Interesting.
I have to check that out.
Yeah, I mean it's strange, but anyway, right now we're going to go on to final thoughts. I don't really have that many. As you can see, I've already sort of closed it down. And obviously, I would like everyone to a big shout out to your host tonight, Mypretty, and I hope that everyone enjoyed themselves because it has been quite entertaining and it is quite interesting in what's being discussed tonight. And I hope that everyone who's been sitting on the outside have kept themselves warm. I mean, we did have like an open bar you could have used, but that's. And I just hope that everyone enjoyed themselves. So this right now, if you got any questions, ask them. If you don't, we're going to move on to the final thoughts. So
Sarah Joy wants to know: do we know George Farragut? Is it Farragut?
Farragut,
Yeah, I've
George
never heard of
Farragut.
him.
No, wait, that rings a bell actually. George Farragut. George Farragut, George Farragut, George Farragut.
He must have fought during. It looks like he might have fought during the American Revolution.
Not sure, but it's was he? Wait a minute, was he Portuguese or something? I do recognize the name.
He was a Spanish American naval officer.
Okay, same continent, same part of the world. I was close.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was the one who was basically what they called in them days a traitor. Is basically he fought for under the American flag, if I can remember correctly, and then I think he fought for the Americans, didn't he? But I know that he died somewhere in the mid 18th century or so. But I don't know. I'd have to do some research on it.
Oh, cool. She's a direct descendant. And Steve, the amount of wood a woodchuck could chuck depends on if the woodchuck could chuck wood.
Oh my good God. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck didn't chuck wood?
Oh, look, just don't even try to do that, Americanese. You ain't got it right.
Hey, man, get the fuck out of here before I put a cap in your ass, motherfucker. Yeah. My mama told me a box of chocolates is like life. You'll never know what I don't know. I can't.
Okay, look, you get that wrong every time. Okay, it's Mama said life is like a box of chocolates.
Okay, Mama said. Wait a minute. Mama said about no, don't worry about it. Sweetheart, would you be so kind to come over and throttle me so I can sound like an American for 5 minutes? Oh, sorry, my bad.
You're just telling secrets about your private time.
Shout out to you. Wait a minute. Never enough. Then I have to take live views, and I'm not working hard enough. If I do, we flare. I am too young, and now I am too old to. Living
Life.
You vent anytime you like. So yeah.
Living life. I think about it like this. I'm too young to die and too old to give a shit.
Right. Am I walking into a trap here, or shall I really say? Because Ammo Girl wants me to say Louisiana again.
No, we want you to say it the way you said it earlier.
Louisiana.
You were like, I don't know what you said, but it won't Louisiana.
I said Louisiana.
But you were like, Louis something or another. We all caught it, but I was going to let you slide with the Ammo's girls, the ones that's calling you on it.
Hey, my pretty.
Yeah.
Come here a minute. Come here a minute. Come here.
Yes,
come close. Huh? Fuck off. Oh shit. Uh, Louisiana.
Yeah,
Lewisham?
yeah, that's what you
Lewisham?
said,
I can
Louis.
say
You said
Lewis.
something like that. I don't know what you said.
Loosen lips. Yeah, I mean, there you go, Louisiana. Doctor
But
Spawn,
don't
abort
y'all
mission.
look? But in Spawn's defense, okay, in Spawn's defense,
I'm being set up.
we say like we call it Lewis, but y'all call it Louis, don't you? Like the same spelling, though that the first part of that y'all say Louis instead of Lewis.
Yeah, it's Lewis. Lu- oh my god, do I have to? I swear to God, you Americanese need to get a fucking grip. You call aluminum, right? And then you fucking go, you like it says Louisiana. Louisiana. Louisiana.
Hey, look, I got
What?
no room to talk. Okay, I'm just teasing you because I absolutely do
I
not
don't
speak
I don't
proper.
mind. I don't
I
mind.
don't speak proper King's English. I can tell you that from the get go.
You guys. And I like the fact that Paul and Taze are still talking about Costa, and it's interesting to see that. He was a Navy officer in the early U.S. Navy before it was the U.S. Navy, same time as John Paul Jones. What else have we got? Costa's youngest brother Thomas lied about his age and joined the army at the age of 16 during the Civil War. He was awarded 2 medals of honor, the first soldier in history to be so honored. Wow. Okay.
I gotta check out Custer. I never knew that. I knew, of course, as much as our school system, of course, taught us,
Yeah.
but it never really grasped my attention. But he sounds like he was quite a character.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. But anyway, guys, obviously you guys don't have any questions, except Amago trying to entrap me there. And obviously, luckily, the doctor was here to tell me to abort mission. Unfortunately, I wasn't fast enough on that one. Um, you know, so it's interesting. It's interesting what we even changed the spelling to fuck off. How can you say like yeah aluminum? Oh my god, I'm now saying aluminum instead of aluminium. Oh my god, I can't believe that just happened to my brain.
And technically, y'all are right. I mean, I'll
There's
admit it.
no. Wait a minute. Wait.
You're wrong.
No. 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 Wait. There's no thing. There's nothing technical about it. It's aluminium.
It is aluminium, and I would have argued that point 10 years ago that it's aluminum. It's aluminum. It's aluminum.
Stop
But
it.
you're
Stop.
right. It is aluminium.
Hi, Sienna and Kim. We'll be back on next Monday if obviously if Mypretty doesn't have DMV. Because that's the first thing that came to mind when she actually told me in DM. I just went, the first thing that came to mind, I went, oh, right, she's got DMV. And anyone who served knows exactly what I'm talking about with DMV.
I think what I told you was I was worshiping the porcelain god.
Yeah, from both fucking ends. Oh my god. Oh, right. Well, so just do your final thought for crying out loud before we actually just lose the plot here.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me. Thanks for spending time with us. We thoroughly enjoy it. I love being able to talk to you guys. It's hard to talk to you sometimes in the group, as other than just a little comment here or there. It makes things so much more enjoyable. Remember that we are all journalists. We all carry that tag. We all have that right, and we should expose it to everyone and use it in every opportunity that we can. Because the moment that we're silent is the moment that things happen. The more light that's shed on a subject, the better the better that problem can be solved. And I really do appreciate everything. And if you are not in the Facebook group, come hang out with me in Facebook on Otter Creek Tube Town. Come spend some time with me. My DMs are always open. I talked to so many people and met so many wonderful folks. Anybody's welcome. We have a great time. We have people in there. Say if you don't like Jeremy, come spend time with me. If you do like Jeremy, come spend time with me. You're both welcome. And your opinions are welcome and they are respected. No one's going to disrespect you in there. It's not like other places. You guys will have a lot of fun. All right, I'm going to let you say your goodbyes and I'm going to get off.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I wish. Yeah, no, I'll let you say your goodbyes.
Oh my God.
And you know I love you. All right, bye everybody. See you later.
You take care, Trouble.
All right.
And thank you very much for being here. And again, guys, remember, if you want to go and, show your respect and love and support for Mypretty, then don't hesitate. Just pop over, give her a little bit of a sub, and also, turn on the notifications, hit that gold bell, and hopefully we can get her to, to that part. Well, and hopefully she'll be doing her own streams. Because she's very intellectual. She knows how to make me look like a dick, but that's normal. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for coming. I do apologize that obviously the Monday stream was postponed till today. But it's been quite a busy day today here and on Squids as well. And also thank everybody who has joined the community. And thank you everyone who subscribed, and I hope that you come back again, and I hope that you come back and enjoy yourself and interact with the community and just chill out, sit back and have fun. And on that note, I am going to call it a night. And again, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you very much for being here, and I hope that you enjoyed tonight. And remember, a smile a day keeps the weird people away. And also, you don't use that much energy or muscle to actually smile. It takes less muscle to smile than it does to frown. Well, on that note, I wish you all a very, very good evening. Yeet.
They go live every night selling drama on demand with crampons sitting on their ass and dicky on hand. Fake tears falling, oh I'm just speaking truth, while they pocket super chats and exploit the loons. Gator rolls in trying to act real cool, but he's stirring up heat, breaking all the rules. Haters in a circle, all bark, no bite, till Spawn Trooper drops and it flips on the light. Spawn Trooper, he bring truth and facts to the land. Spawn Trooper, he assesses the situation at hand. Spawn Trooper, is weak with this one. Deuces in the mix, spinning lies for the stream. He acts like a king, but his throne's just a meme. Dodging all the questions with a scripted phrase, trying to fool the crowd, but he's just a phase. Bones Lacker's got a seat at the front of the show, putting up a front, but got nowhere to go. Guano's hiding in shadows, throwing shade in the chat. They all act tough, but Spawn Trooper's on that. Spawn Trooper, he bring truth and facts to the land. Spawn Trooper, he assesses the situation at hand. Weak with this one. Now the people rise, no longer blind. The lies unravel one stream at a time. Truth's not merch, it don't come in packs. And Spawn Troopers got receipts, not just attacks. He says turn off the feed, walk into the sun. This war for your mind, it's already begun. With clarity, blazing like a saber so bright. He leads the way through the digital night. Spawn Troopers say, I see you playing, keeping up the show, spinning your stories, but the truth starts to flow. Your gators pull high like you're some kind of lord, but all you're doing is striking out with the faulty sword. You're no warrior, just a puppet on strings. Your fake crown don't mean a thing. The game's up now, you're out of moves. Spawn Troopers here to expose your grudge. Spawn Trooper, he bring truth and facts to the land. Spawn Trooper, he assists the situation at hand. Then he say the words, truth don't with this one.
Truth will rise in the end, no place for deceit.
May grim unwind, get a whole group on. The force is weak with this whole bunch.